One of my favourite words this year is restrainability. Restrainability, and it's good to be recording this with that noise behind me because it is a dust cart, a refuse collection lorry stopping emptying all the bins. And if you look in Pavilion Gardens, there's one, actually can't quite see it from where I'm sitting, that is always overflowing and has actually got rubbish piled around it by the end of the day. And of course you will have read and watched on TV endless videos about climate change and about sustainability, and nearly every sentence that talks about sustainability is negative, probably of course in a very urgent and necessary way, but it's about stopping. Oh look, there it is over there, look how big that is. The negative one is that, you know, temperatures are rising and we seem to have our heads in the sand about it still, and the rise of the Trump world has going back to climate denial, but even some skeptical scientists are accepting that our current weather patterns are causing potential mayhem and it's going to get a lot worse in the future, and we need to cut down, we need to cut back. And you only need to go to a fringe festival such as the Edinburgh Fringe. I take photos every year of seeing the bins overflowing. Now in residential areas in Edinburgh particularly, they've done a lot more to get going on the recycle bins. Where I stay just outside, it's recycle bins of paper, glass, but also food waste, and attempts are made to cut down, cut back. As soon as the Edinburgh Fringe kicks off, just walk up one of the main drags around Bristol Square. You've got all the street vans and you'll just see paper all over the floor, in all the bins, flyers everywhere, and it's certainly a losing battle at the Edinburgh Fringe. But this is focusing on you and your well-being, because actually some people go to the Fringe to binge. It's a binge. In fact, I think there's a website called Binge Fringe, although they're not particularly focused on, you know, some recommendation that anyone should be binging on food and throwing paper everywhere. That's more the wonderful opportunity to binge because there are so many shows that you can see. But being in the place of cutting back is really important in a Fringe festival. But I just want to share the word restrainability. And if you can just get the mood of that word, the kind of atmosphere that it certainly creates around me, is we go right back to basic human behaviour. That when you act with restraint, you hold back. But for me, there's a sense when it becomes normal for you to hold back. It doesn't feel like a negative thing. It doesn't feel like cutting down. It's not a negative narrative. Actually, when you are restrained, it's a positive thing. And there are ways that you can certainly do it at the Edinburgh Fringe that I think can really help your well-being in a place where everybody overdoes it. And some of the overload is not only paper overload, which for me hasn't reduced one bit of the Fringe. People are just getting flyers printed all over the place, giving them out. People are throwing them away within just a few moments. But it's the feeling where you're being restrained that it's a good thing. It's actually a positive behaviour. It's an affirmative thing, and it does you good. So one example of that would be practicing restrainability in what you buy. And some people do that deliberately at the Fringe and they seem calmer for it. But it's very, very easy to over purchase at the Fringe and buy what you don't need and be throwing stuff away because you've ordered the large size. But ordering the right size for the hunger that you've got is not on a narrative of I'm not buying the big one. It's I'm buying the one that I need. And actually getting up in the morning and having a really lovely ritual of making your own sandwiches, it's not a kind of boring thing at all. You might go out for really brilliant meals sometimes if you can afford it, but I see other people in a really lovely routine of making just what they need for the day, eating what they need for the day, and not feeling like they're adding to their debts they're going to take home after the Fringe because everything is so expensive. And you see people that actually use water bottles and know the places in Edinburgh where you can fill up are very different to people who are paying, because the prices go up 2 or 3 quid for just a 500ml plastic bottle of water, and how good that is for you I don't know. And so initially you might notice that when you practice restrainability, it feels like you're being a bit mean, it feels like you're cutting down, but after a while you're not. And this will sound really weird, but I think this is also good for you, and I put this in some other videos. Practicing restrainability in not over speaking like I do on my videos, but it's been really good for me to restrict myself on something like TikTok to 10 minutes maximum, and do even shorter ones, because you say just what's needed, you think just what's needed, you give yourself a break from over analysing, and after a while it's the thing you positively do. And restrainability, a bit like filling up a milk jug to just the level you need rather than overfilling it and pouring it away, is the perfect way to be restrained. And as I'm going to be in this video, it's the perfect way at the Fringe to remain well, both in mind and body.